With the economy in the state that it's in, which ain't so great, there's a lot of angst about how much of our manufacturing has gone offshore. And today, Made in China is a very common label on just about everything we buy. But I'm here today in downtown San Francisco to show you that we are once again making things here in the United States. I think of it as manufacturing with a twist. Welcome to Tech Shop, a unique factory-like setting where members who join can come in and design and prototype anything they can think of. We're about to enter one of 4 existing tech shops around the country, which gives its members access to the tools of innovation. Let's say we go in and have a look. Every day we run across people in our lives who say they have an idea for a company. The problem is there's a gap between the idea and actually starting a company. That gap comes because people don't have the tools or the ability to design something and then be able to prototype it relatively inexpensively. That's what Tech Shop gives them the ability to do. To take that concept, put it into a computer, digitize it, and then develop a prototype to be able to test and see whether or not there truly is going to be a market for something. So they say here at the Tech Shop that if you can dream it, you can build it. And for those of you who are in the ophthalmic industry, I've found someone here in the Tech Shop who's in fact building her own company. I want you to meet Laura Stevenson. Tell us about what you're dreaming up and the company you want to start.
So I'm working with a couple other people. We're starting an eyewear company where anyone will be able to design their own glasses frames. Not just pick from pre-made modules, but actually control the form factor of the frames. There's a couple reasons this is important. There are a lot of different shapes of human out there, and not all the glasses that people want to wear necessarily fit them. So we're trying to come up with a way where people can get the glasses they want to wear to fit their face in a comfortable way. So
you want to extend the whole concept of the optical industry, which is around mass customization of the lenses, into mass customization of the frames themselves.
They can get what they want, the way they want it. They can get the fit they need. It's an interesting overlap of a medical product and a fashion product.
So show us, what are some of the things you've been prototyping here?
I have some later prototypes, which are actually more of a production quality. These were 3D printed by one of our fabrication shops that we work with. And over there, I'm actually machining a pair. So we're exploring a couple different ways that we're going to meet our orders, one of which is machining and one of which is 3D printing.
And describe to those of us who have never heard about 3D printing, what is a 3D printer?
Whereas machining is a subtractive process where you actually carve your part out of a block of stock material, 3D printing builds the part out of basically a material that's deposited in layers. So it's additive rather than subtractive.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you, Laura, and good luck to you. We had a few minutes to catch up with the CEO of the Tech Shop, Mark Hatch. Mark, so good to be with you. What was the inspiration for Tech Shop?
Well, Tech Shop came out of our founder, Jim Newton's personal need. He'd had access to this kind of tool set in a junior college where he was an instructor on Mythbusters, where he was the science advisor for the 3rd season. So he came up with this idea of a membership-based, do-it-yourself fabrication studio. He'd get everybody else to pay for the tools that he wanted to play with.
Well, I know you have quite a big membership here. What's the need? What need in society is this fulfilling?
Well, these tools are the kind of the fundamental tools of the Industrial Revolution, and for the last 250 years, these tools have been inaccessible to the amateur, the hobbyist, even the pro-am. Unless you were extremely wealthy inside of a large institution or crazy in some way, so that there were no boundaries that were a problem for you, you didn't have access to these kinds of tools. So now for $100. I like to say, for the cost of a bad Starbucks addiction, you now have access to the tools of the Industrial Revolution for the first time in all of human history.
And I've heard you say this term, talking about the emergence of the reemergence of the creative class.
Right.
Tell us more about that.
So there are 40 million people in the creative class in the United States. And the thing that we like to point out is that the largest untapped resource on the planet is not oil, it's not natural gas, it's not solar. It's the free time, disposable income, and creativity of the creative class. They have 10 10 billion hours that they're spending every year watching television. If we could take a small portion of that and redirect it into creative energies where you're actually focusing on innovations that can better humanity, that's an incredibly useful time and money, and it's actually already part of their disposable income.
Well, tell me, what's your vision for Tech Shop? How many of these do you think you'll have in the next few years?
We got 5 in place now. We're doing at least 8 next year, and then we want to keep doubling until we reach the natural threshold. We believe that access to tools is fundamental, and that buying them and leaving them, in your garage barely used doesn't make a lot of sense. So we think that this belongs in every Lowe's parking lot in the United States.
Fascinating. It's kind of like time sharing of tools to allow for innovation. Is that fair?
Yeah, exactly. For $100 a month, you get access to $1 million worth of software and equipment to be able to build your dreams.
Well, that's fantastic. Mark, thank you so much. The whole notion of Tech Shop and what it has the potential to do in terms of helping change what was the industrial economy into a transformational economy is happening right here in San Francisco, Menlo Park, and I dare say coming soon or coming eventually to a city near you. From Tech Shop San Francisco, I'm Shareef Mahdavi for the Premium Experience Network, and that's the way I see it.